Hello and welcome back to Fire Emblem The Last Promise, 0% growth, low turn count. I'm joined once again by LG for the fourth map in a row?
Yeah, I think it's the fourth one. Hello there.
Fourth or fifth, yeah. No, yeah, third. Because I did, chapter 13 by myself. Regardless,
Oh, right.
this map represents a huge jump up in enemy quality, and because of that, chances of death and lowers chances of success, because the enemies jump up from being doubled by mostly everyone to being only doubled by our fastest units. So, yeah. Enemies suddenly go from FE8 enemy quality to FE6 enemy quality.
Pretty much.
And you will be noting that. This map has an 8-turn floor, because Corbin rejoins with the Emblem Lance and Emblem Blade on turn 8 of the map. That's all there is to say before jumping into the map. Other than some items were distributed in preps. Tekun gets an Axe Reaver for a strategy on turn 1, and then you'll see the rest of them because they come into play. That Wyvern Hunter that joins us there is Ben. He's Karina, but slightly slower. Although after promotion, he is faster with heavier lances than she is because he's higher con. This first maneuver requires that Myrmidon to not roll up on HP, that or to roll down. Because there are times where he doesn't get one round killed by that combination. So, LG, do you want to explain that maneuver up there that we made with Emma?
We are about to see why Emma is the most epic Jagan ever. She's going to handle basically most of those enemies there by herself.
Yeah, when I commented on Emma being absurdly bulky as a staff bot, I was not kidding. She is probably the MVP of this map. Yeah, RNs were burnt there for RNs were burnt there for Tekun to kill that mage with a crit. Because he needs to stay at high HP. Ben and Lorraine pick up Tekun and Kellic. This is another map where Kellic seizes, which is cool, because I forgot that Kellic can seize. Tekun takes an Axe Reaver. Not Tekun. Ben takes an Axe Reaver because it is a stronger lance than either of the ones he joins with, and it gives more lance experience, which is what he needs, because he also joins at level 10, like Karina. On turn 1 enemy phase, Emma takes on a role of being a Valkyrie Jagan. The guy that just attacked her, I'm pretty sure, is the Mithril Blade Mercenary in this map. He deals only 5 damage to her. One of the mercenaries there with an iron sword only deals 1 damage to her. It's kind of stupid.
It's amazing.
One of the mages up in that starting area has a Hero's Flare. Oh, in that area where Emma is. He tanks Emma. The boss here is Rorik, or as me and LG like to call him, Bimbo CLIVE.
Yep.
On turn 2, Kellic heals himself and equips the Flame Bridge so that he can have some enemy phase combat. And Emma weakens a Steel Axe Fighter to get him into heal AI. Zack does a lot in this map. Just like Storm, joining with a Killer Bow is actually a really nice trait. And RN was burnt there so that Ash hits this archer with both of his hand axe hits. This archer needs to die for the strat to work. This is the probably last or second to last map where Ash is going to be a major MVP. Although he's still going to be very useful for the coming maps. Karina picks up Zack and Anakin dances here, and you're going to see something that's kind of stupid, in all honesty. This map has a lot of rivers, which means that archers actually have an enemy phase. There is an enemy that has a seal bow that Zack doubles, but doesn't one round without a crit. And the reason he cannot one-round that Steel Bow Archer is because the Hero's Flare Mage. He destroys Zack. This is the Steel Bow Archer. He needs to either miss one of his attacks. Well, he just needs to not crit. Missing does save a weapon use, though. So, LG, you made the thumbnail for this video.
Indeed.
If you haven't seen it, I will post a link to it or something in the description of the video because it's really good. In the lore of this chapter, the boss is either Lena's lover, or brother or sister. I don't remember and I don't particularly care, but all you need to really know about him is that he has a Brave Lance. He has a Brave Lance, 40 HP, and 18 or 19 defense because he's on a gate tile. He is a big problem. Zack is carrying a Dragon Axe for this map, which is interesting considering you'd expect us to save it for Wyvern Hill, but it's a damage that it's an axe that it deals decent damage to the boss, and that's why we're using it. It deals 10 damage per hit. During this enemy phase, you get to see more epic Valkyrie Jig in action.
This is what we paid for.
If you expected Emma to be used as mostly a staff bot, you are correct. But this is like that's the Iron Sword Mercenary that deals 1 damage to her. You are correct, but this is the objective best way of handling the top half.
This is the cursed exception.
Yeah. There are a couple other maps where her combat is decent enough, because enemies are slowed down, or her chip damage is valuable. Zack gets put to low HP. I could have, in theory, rigged a dodge, but it doesn't particularly matter. And him being at low HP helps out with this next enemy phase, because it's not very reliable. If you haven't noticed yet, reliable isn't a word that I've seen. Reliable is not a word I've grasped yet. Lyrian, Ben, and Karina all move down in very particular positions. Ben's position doesn't particularly matter, but Karina's does. She baits over that mage. Karina and Zack team up to kill the mercenary, and then Tekun kills this mage with an Iron Sword. And now we get to see probably the most cursed sequence in the run so far, which is Ben one-rounding a mage with an Axe Reaver with 58% hit, and then 3 units teaming up to kill a mercenary. If you didn't think things were getting difficult yet, you are wrong. Everything that happens here is very particular, from the trading of items around, to the location of some units, to even the health they have. Also, this is another reason we bought the Iron Axe, because a Steel Axe would just be too inaccurate. So, again, there's not really much to talk about. It's either this turn or next turn. No, this is turn 4. On turn 6, Shuda and Inanna rejoin, also known as Lance Reaver and Mithril Blade, and then Resident RN Burner.
Yeah.
Neither of them do anything helpful in Anakin mode, I'm afraid to say. I was just forgetting what I do with Emma here. By the way, at the end of this chapter, after the boss is killed, everything that I do is improv, because, it's just time for self-improvement. Yeah, and, you may notice that Tekun and Kellic were placed to have turns next to each other, even if, Tekun could have done what he did for where he started, during that turn. It's just because if I'm able to build up their C support, it's better than if I'm not able to. Their C support isn't super valuable. It's just a couple stat boosts, but it is still +1 damage to both of them. Kellic has a actually pretty low chance of death over the course of this map. I'm pretty sure he only faces 3 or 4 attacks, and very few of them have chances of killing him, because he heals in between them. Tekun gets very close to promotion after this map. I will be saying that now. Now begins the very arduous task of killing the boss. Do you want to explain why I thought this map would be so difficult, LG?
Yes. If you were to look at the boss's stats, you would find out that he has an extremely dummy thick 16 defense and 8 res. Combine that with the gate bonuses, which I forget if are 2 or 3 defense, this guy is an absolute pain to kill.
Yes. Probably the more annoying part about him is the fact that he has 10 speed and a Brave Lance. the most quote-unquote reliable method for taking him out would be Ash with the chainsaw, critting him once on player phase, once on enemy phase, and then on player phase. But with the chainsaw, he gets quadrupled by the Brave Lance. His crit rate with the chainsaw is 55%. That miss is necessary. One of the 3 attacks that comes Ash's way during this enemy phase, during the player phase and enemy phase, are necessary to miss. This boss kill is probably not the least reliable thing yet, but it's up there. The Pelennor kill is probably the least reliable thing yet in this playthrough, and this, in theory, would have come close to rivaling it if there wasn't a turn floor. Because of a turn floor, this map became a hell of a lot less stressful.
Thank God for this Corp Squad.
Yes. The only valuable thing that units that rejoin late in maps provide is more turns, so it's more, more lenient. Ash has to hit. Ash can only afford to miss. Actually, no, he cannot afford to miss a single attack over these next enemy phases and player phases. Kellick's chance of survivability there is really low because he does need to kill that mage, although in theory Zack could have done it as well. Kellick just likes the experience and sword experience more because he will want to promote at some point because he'll have 7 move and have better bulk and survivability than Sean. This is, I believe, turn 6. Ash heals up so that he can take both hits of the Brave Lance, and then Tekkun kills this Cavalier. Tekkun's chance of death is relatively low, but there is still always a chance. If you still, and then here we get to see the most useful thing in the run.
Beautiful.
Zack unironically contributes a lot more than you would expect for being an archer. Him attacking the boss burns the perfect amount of RNG. In order for the enemy phase to play out. Tekkun needs to dodge 2 of these attacks that come towards him at enemy phase. Both of them have roughly 50%, all attacks have roughly 50% chances of connecting with him. It's not great, but it gives him good amounts of experience. Actually, I think the Javelin Cav only has a 33% chance of connecting with him. Okay, it's 40%. Yet, this is what took me the longest to find out was this RN burn, because I had to revamp the strategy halfway through, because my notes were incorrect. I have to burn, I believe it's 4 RNs here, and then this is the only time in the map that animations are being turned on, because, yeah, reliable. If you missed that attack, you would have had to dodge 6 attacks in order to have another chance of doing it. There is a backup strategy involving... There's a backup strategy if Ash doesn't crit, and if he survives, which involves Karina using an Axe Reaver and then Itsuki hitting him once from the side. But the odds of that are happening are very low. Karina and Ben have the same strength, and both of them with an Axe Reaver only deal 4 damage. And then Itsuki doesn't deal that much damage, so you need a hit, and then you would need to do extra damage. Tekkun heals to boost his survivability during the enemy phase, and Karina is bulkier than Tekkun to the point where enemies will not attack her. He also could have equipped an Iron Sword, to improve his reliability. Actually, he doesn't get weighed down by it. I'm thinking of with Gi and FE7. But yeah, he could have equipped an Iron Sword, but it doesn't really matter. Him being at 17 HP is still low enough for the mages to prefer attacking him. This is the reason we had to wait 8 turns to seize instead of waiting 7. And whatever. Emma is the only unit during this turn who could have died. I just would have had to move her right to make that chance of death for her 0. Karina kills off this Cavalier with a Steel Lance instead of an Iron Lance, Not for reliability purposes, but just because steel lances give more weapon experience than iron lances. If you don't know if you have never played this game with a Dancer Lord, please play The Last Promise. It's very useful.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially because Kellic or Sean can seize most maps as well, so he can hang back to seize. Yeah, every attack that happens on this turn has a 0% chance of going wrong. Because I didn't have any unit attack a unit that could have potentially killed them with a 1% crit or whatever. I just wanted this to be as reliable as possible, so I wouldn't have to restart the entire map just because I messed up on the last turn. Itsuki technically doesn't need this kill, but the kid's done a lot of work for us so far.
Let him kill someone else.
Yeah. And then Ben throws the short spear here. During this map, Ben reaches actually a fairly important benchmark, which is, he basically gets really close to C-rank lances. Not C-rank. B-rank lances, which means that he can use silver lances relatively soon. After promotion. If you don't know the plot of this map, Anakin and Kellic have a heart-to-heart after discovering after killing the boss when he dies, and Anakin buries his body, but they also get confronted by a hero who, in a Groats run, kind of needs a crit to kill Kellic if you're lucky, but in this run, he kills him with a normal attack really easily. I would have shown the cutscene, but it would have made the video longer than it already is. This is the longest video so far. Anyway, thank you for watching. Next map is going to be a significant load off my shoulders, because after that map we get probably the best unit, not the best unit, the most important unit for the run. Again, thank you for watching. LG, if you want to say anything regarding the map.
I mean, what can I say? We got to see the best part of the entire playthrough, epic Valkyrie Jagan. Like,
yeah,
it was all worth it in the end.
If you thought that Tekun soloing Cavs was, like, a low point of the run, you have yet to see anything.
Good.
Anyway, we'll see you next time for, we'll see you next time for a reused meme thumbnail and the newest carry. Have a nice day.
Oh, you are so looking forward to it.
I am looking very much so forward to it.